Oh, we are live.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another episode number 25 of the Sushi Podcast.
25 in, man. 25 in. Yeah, welcome. First and foremost, we want to welcome our guest.
My boy.
We have Josh here. Avid, faithful Brooklyn Nets fan. As you can see on the screen here, he is very depressed about the sweep that they got, the ass kicking. The rag doll, so to speak. Kevin Durant. Looking like, I would say, man, I don't even know, man. Listen. It was bad.
Pretty much, we never seen KD play like that in his career. I know everybody talk about Game 6 in the conference finals against the Warriors in 2016, but it was consecutive. You know what I mean?
Yes. So welcome, Josh. And apparently he is converted, to a New Orleans Pelicans fan. I guess he left the religion of Kyrie Irving, and now he's joining the vignettes of Zion Williamson.
As you can tell, welcome. I already got the lifestyle of the vignettes. I've been eating a lot, you know what I'm
saying? Zion may want to stay away, if you want to be successful. So, we'll get into, what happened with the Nets. But first and foremost, we want to talk about, obviously, our recap on the second round, the semifinals. We had pretty interesting matchups, in the Eastern Conference. We had the Philadelphia 76ers losing and having the Miami Heat advance the Eastern Conference Finals, beating the Sixers in 6 games. And then the other side of the bracket, surprisingly for me, for sure, because, Giannis didn't do the Lord's work as I asked. But Boston Celtics evidently win in 7 games after sweeping the Nets, now beating the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. Now there will be a new NBA champion crowned this year. Moving over to the West, the Golden State Warriors moved past the Memphis Grizzlies, which was kind of expected, given that John Morant had went down in the series. I didn't, I felt, Memphis would fight hard, but it just, without Ja, they weren't going to beat Golden State. And then you have the unbeatable number 1 seed, top 5 in offense and defense, Phoenix frauding Suns.
As Cameron Payne would say, we the number 1, we the best team in the world.
Yeah, and he did quote in the Lakers space. Shout out to the Late Night Lake Show. The Phoenix Suns, the frauds of the West, lose in 7 games to the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, man, a 40-piece. They were up by 50 plus at one point. So, shout out to the Mavericks for doing the Lord's work and taking care of that. Now they have to complete the mission because we can't let them Bay Area boys, advance. But needless to say, what are your guys' thoughts on the series? We're going to keep the West on ice because Armani is ready to go rocket. We're going to start off in the East. Sixers and Heat. What are your guys' thoughts on that series?
I guess I'll go. Coming into what I had the broom, right? Last episode I had the broom, but yes. Unfortunately,
and Mitch was very upset about that. He hit me up on the side and was like, "Yo, what's up with the broom?"
Yeah.
Shout out to Mitch.
So I had the broom last episode, but you speak too soon and things start to happen. So they tied the series. The 76ers managed to tie the series, and it's just a shame that Joel Embiid's been battling injury, and then also that's when they came out with the announcement that Jokic had won his second MVP. So that kind of threw off Embiid's game just a little bit. But just the bickering, especially after the game when the Miami Heat was able to clinch and win the series. Jimmy Butler was, because they got some blood, they got some beef between each other, between the 76 and Miami Heat, especially.
Yep, they elected to give Tobias Harris the max contract that Jimmy Butler deserved, and they decided to go in that direction, and which now catapulted Jimmy Butler to go to Miami.
Yeah, yep. And I remember seeing on Twitter, there was a 76er, team page, not like verified or anything, but a team page. They were saying that Jimmy Butler needs to enjoy the rest of his career in South Beach because he would never sniff the playoffs again. Good luck being a 35 to 40 win team. And now look, like they're in the conference finals because of Jimmy Butler. And they made the finals. Right.
That process ain't working.
Sure. Right. So, and also just, well, I'm a kick it to my boy Josh, because Josh got a lot to say about brother Harden, So as soon as they lost, like he hit me up, he was like, "Yo, I gotta be on the show." So it's only right that I'm gonna just kick it to my boy Josh. Go ahead, bro.
So I'm fresh off the Cancun flight. I just came back. I took a month off. Went to Cancun with the boys.
It was right next to our villa.
As soon as I come back, I see the fraud himself, James Brick Ross Harden. I see him doing what we hid him from for this whole season. So I'm not gonna go OD crazy on him, because he's still a human being at the end of the day, my brother. But James Harden, this is what you asked for. You really want to be in Philly, and what are you doing as a second option? You got Maxey screaming at you, man. Maxey screaming at him like, "Yo, come on, what you doing?" Like, whoa, you got Embiid in the press conference saying like, "Yo, it's not Houston."
He's not like that no more. Yeah, he's not like that. Basically, is what he said.
Oh, KD never did you like that, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. So I'm just saying, you got what you deserved. I was smoking the James Harden pack of cigars, the special cigars that we had in Cancun. I'm not gonna hold you. So that's it. I didn't have no more cigars on set. I wanted to bring it on set, but that's it. That's all I want to say about James Harden. You got what you deserve, man. Brick Ross.
I mean,
but
Eric, go ahead, Josh.
Here's one more thing. On the serious analysis of Sixers, the Sixers, I feel like we got to start looking at Embiid in a sense. It's not his fault. He got hurt, but it's always a second round exit. I know the year before that. I know the year before that.
Street clothes Embiid.
Yeah. The Ben Simmons thing happened. I get it, but you're still the best player. You're supposed to still win that series against the Hawks. The year before that, it was the bubble. The year before that, they had Jimmy Butler. They had a stacked team. You still lose. It's like, you got to start
the year before that, though, they did lose, but Kawhi hit that game winner. I mean, that's how you go out. You go out like that. That just happens.
All I'm saying is, his postseason exits is looking a little Chris Paulish to me, and we're ignoring it. That's all I'm saying. We're ignoring it.
It's looking like CP&B.
And we're just saying, "Oh my God, I feel bad for him. We did the same thing for CP for so long. Oh, I feel so bad. He got hurt." At this point, it's like, yo, I don't care if you playing. You got your jersey on.
Yeah, that's a great. We need that on the tweet deck. But that was a great point. I mean, and B looking like the center CP3.
CP and B.
Yep.
Yeah, the hashtag CP and B.
CP and B.
Man, I didn't look at it that way, but it's something to think about for sure. Eric, what are your thoughts on the 76ers and Heat series?
Just the way that series finished for the Sixers was just brutal, man. James Harden, dude had 2 field goals attempts in the second half of Game 6, bro.
That's nasty work, man.
We saw,
then he blamed it on Doc Rivers.
Yeah, dude said in the press conference, like, "Oh,
I didn't get the ball. Dude, you're the point guard."
He was hiding this in Brooklyn. That's all I'm saying.
Like, you saw playoff James Harden in the front street, man, and the fact that they're contemplating him giving that max of $250 I don't know, man. They're gonna
He
have to
should
do
just take the
something with that.
3-year 170.
They're gonna have to do
That's what
something
he
with that
should
roster.
do.
They're gonna have to do something with that roster because they got no bench. You saw that in this series against the Heat. They got no bench, man.
Ben should have flipped Tobias, and I think that's what they should explore to do in the offseason.
But
the
his
thing value
was,
has
though,
went down too. So
the thing was they tried to flip him during the season.
Mhm.
Like they was trying to attach him to any Ben Simmons trade.
Mhm.
But the thing was that I'm not winning in that scenario. You're giving me a guy who don't want to play, for one, and then two, you're giving me a guy who's crazy expensive and still has 3 years left on his deal after this year.
Mhm.
So
and that's why I feel like the Nets got so much in the Harden trade because they called Philly's bluff. Because Philly was talking about, I know y'all saw it, like they was like, oh, we could just trade the buys and sign him outright, but that's like, who really wants to buy for that supermax contract that y'all gave him?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, if the Kings turned down an offer for it was Ben Simmons supposedly with Tobias Harris and a couple picks, and you wanted DeAndre Fox in return, that's kind of like how the trade kind of was like formulating. And if the Kings were like, nah, then you knew there was a problem. If the Kings are saying no,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
I mean, but all in all, credit to the Miami Heat though for taking care of business. Now the Heat have to do the Lord's work because as a Laker fan, we can't have the Celtics get number 18. That is out the question.
Let's go Heat.
Achieve. That's why you see my Abby right here. Heat culture. You know what I'm saying? Let's go Heat.
Let's go Heat.
Shout out Jimmy Butler for being a better scorer. So he was a better scorer than James Harden. Who would have thought?
And the dude takes no perimeter shots. That's ridiculous. It's crazy. Jimmy Butler shot 20% from the 3-point line this year. Think about that. That's insane. Moving on to the next series, Milwaukee versus Boston. Man,
another pack in the air. I'm loving it. Another pack in the air.
They needed Chris Middleton bad. You can tell. He is the closer for that team. The mid-range game is so underrated in the league now because what Chris Middleton can do, he can create mismatches. Defenses have to commit. Giannis can now go one-on-one. It's easier for him to kind of go downhill on screen and rolls. With Middleton not on that floor and you got Drew Holiday, scoring 19 points on 19 shots, like that's not gonna do it. I'm surprised. It's impressive that Giannis was able to take this team to 7. They should have closed it out though at home. That was their best chance, in 6 games. But Jason Tatum had other ideas. But again, the Boston Celtics showed why they're the best defense in the league right now. After clearly shutting down Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they turned around and shut down. They did fix the face.
I'm just saying, there's no need for the slight. It was a month ago.
It's they turned around and shut down Giannis, the best player in the world right now. So, in my opinion, but again, what are your guys' thoughts on that series? And going forward, who do you think is going to win the Eastern Conference matchup between the Celtics and the Heat? For me, I got Heat in 6, teetering on Heat in 7. With Al Horford being out and possibly having COVID, being out multiple games, and then Marcus Smart with the foot injury, it's kind of going to hurt them, in their depth. And then the Heat, hopefully they'll get Kyle Lowry back because, again, I can't have the Celtics get number 18. That is not in the cards for us.
The Miami Heat just need to sit Kyle Lowry down. Sit him down, man. Sit him down. It's looking bad out there for him. But
so for the naysayers out there, really quick, for the naysayers out there who question, why the Lakers didn't trade THT for Kyle Lowry last year, you see why? There you go,
bro. Like, come on now. But I mean, you guys know where I stand, right? You guys know I wanted other plans to go down in that series. I had Milwaukee in 6. I felt he smelled blood, and Giannis did everything he could. Giannis, what was the stat? Giannis is the first player to have 200 points, 100 rebounds, and
50 assists.
And
50 assists.
50 assists, yeah.
Yeah, and he also did a stat that the last person that did it previously to him was Shaq. He had 40 points and 20 rebounds. Like, bro, and still can't get the W. But if you look at those games, right, the Boston Celtics honestly could have finished that in 5. That's the crazy thing about it. You know, when you look at that one game when Drew Holiday made 2 great defensive plays at the end of the game, like that was a game that fell out of the Celtics' hands. So, you know, I hate to say it, but this Boston team is like, I think nobody's really keeping an eye on them is because like just we kind of thought that they was gonna flame out when the playoffs started. You know, we thought that like we all said
they
it.
Legit, man.
Yeah, we thought that Kyrie and KD, we had Kyrie and KD winning, you know, in 6, 7, whatever, right? But
I had them in 7. Man, was I wrong?
Yeah, Woo. Yeah. Josh, sorry, bro, but that's the reality of it was. And then next series comes along, we had Milwaukee beating them. Same thing. I think Eric was the only one that had Boston winning, but still, same thing happened. You know what I mean? Like they got to start putting credit and respect on the Celtics name, and credit to Jason Tatum, man. Yo, credit to Jason Tatum, man. And I mean, it just sucks that the Bucks did never like make any adjustments. You know, I understand like we're not gonna let the best player on the opposing team beat us.
If Chris Middleton is there, I think the Bucks win that series.
Yeah, of course. But I think that last game, like they just going into a game 7, right? You can't let you can't let your stars beat you. You gotta let the role plays beat you. Grant Williams was looking like Larry Bird, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and
he looked like a default 2K player, bro. And like you let that man, they left him open.
Yeah,
he shot more threes than Steph Curry attempted. He attempted more threes than Steph Curry in the playoffs. So he's the number 1 guy that attempted the most threes in a playoff game.
It's funny because I go on Instagram and I see Lethal Shooter, like a clip of him and Grant Williams, you know, trading shots and stuff like that. So Lethal Shooter is kind of hot right now based off of Grant Williams' performance. But you would think that they would have an adjustment to combat that, and they didn't, and that's why they lost the game. I just hate that Boston is in this spot right now. Go Heat. I got Heat in 6. Carry on.
Eric, go ahead.
So, the thoughts on that Bucks Celtics series? Y'all talk about bloodbath. That to me was a bloodbath series. I mean, did you guys count how many elbows that was thrown around in that series alone?
Jeez,
like they were wild.
It was up there with the physicality of the Warriors and Golden State series.
I think it was more physical than that series, but to me, Chris Middleton they needed Chris Middleton back, especially in that game 7 and game 6. Bobby Portis, the others, the Bucks, they just didn't.
Grayson Allen, bro.
Grayson Allen,
he was playing scared.
We spoke highly of him. We did.
Grayson Allen went AWOL in this series. It's like,
yo, Patrick Beverly was on. ESPN talking about who?
Who?
Yeah, he was like he did it one time, but no,
yeah. I just felt that the Celtics, they wore them out. The Celtic defense wore out the Bucks. They let Giannis do whatever, but they made sure that the others didn't go off. And I just felt like Tatum literally saved the Celtics in game 6, because if he doesn't drop that 46, Bucks win that series in 6 easy. So and also looking forward in terms of this series with the Heat, the Boston Celtics gonna get their own trophy, the Bob Cousy Trophy, as you if y'all remember the NBA.
The NBA is so petty. The NBA is so petty that they have to make an award for guys like Steph Curry and all that to get something because they can't get Finals MVP. It's disgusting. It's like it's crazy. I hate LeBron and the Lakers that much. It's insane to me. It's insane. Y'all made a consolation prize award. Like what?
Yeah,
and watch how NBA Twitter now and all the discourse is going to be like, well, yo, he got 6, conference finals MVPs. What?
No way, no way,
so?
No way.
I'm telling you,
you bring that in the argument. We gonna question your knowledge of the game of basketball For real.
I'm telling you, yo.
For real. You bring that up in the argument, we looking at you funny, man.
Like, yo, you got a
it's gonna
consolation
happen.
prize. It's gonna happen. Josh, what are your thoughts on that series?
So
Yeah,
it was another pack. We was going crazy in Cancun. I'm not gonna hold you, because they went through what we went through last year. They went through the exact same thing. That's karma for taking out Kyrie, Giannis. You undercut him. You undercut him.
That's nasty, bro.
You undercut him. We know it. I got the footage.
Yo, that is crazy.
So I'm just saying, this is karma, Giannis. Watch how you play reckless. I'm not saying you do. You play reckless, but that you went through what KD went through last year, and I loved it. I loved it so much. You had no help. Drew Holiday looked like how Drew Holiday would look in the playoff series. Horrible. So I'm just happy. Grayson Allen looking like, yeah, you already said it. Who? You feel me? So it's just like, and then Bobby Porter's crazy eyes. He can't do nothing. Nah, that's what I like to see. But congrats to the Celtics. Yeah, Eric, they have first world problems over there. They talking about they want the Celtics to win because there's 18. We don't even what we fighting for now. Like, hell, kind of first world problems is this?
I mean,
Yo,
look,
crazy.
in our defense, right? In our defense, right? We want to see Jason Tatum do well, but just not in the Boston jersey.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Laker anyway, but that's neither here or there. That's down the line. But that's after the Braun era. Watch, it's gonna happen. But
I understand
but
that.
we can't have 18s reserved for the Lake Show. That's next year.
That just sounds like first world problems to me, man. Y'all didn't struggle enough for me. But shout out to Udoka. He was on our staff last year, and that's what hurts even more. When I was like in Cancun, after we stopped partying, and you just sit down and think. Udoka was
you gotta look at
roster.
Steve Nash. Yeah, you look at Steve Nash.
Like, and we got Steve Nash who just looks like an NPC out there. It's just like, yo.
You know what's crazy though? What tells me for sure is that Mike D'Antoni was your coach last year on the real.
Yeah, and it just hurts. But we'll talk about that later. I just want to shout him out, and he got these boys playing, and I would play for him if he was my coach. He bagged me along. So I'm listening to you, coach. Shout out to me.
Shout out to the
Celtics. They play hard.
So who do you have coming out this series between the Heat and the Celtics?
I got the Celtics, man. It's too much star power on their team compared to the Heat. The Heat, I still have trust issues with them. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not gonna call them fluky because the bubbles thing.
No, you can say that. You can say that.
No, he can't say that. We're not gonna take no bubble slam
because it's still a ring.
No, yeah, I'm not talking about the bubble. I'm just talking about how they was playing this year. Even though
looks like the money's the Matrix.
We didn't hear anything you said, bro.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
The Suns fans is messing with the algorithm, brother.
They heard and it was like, nah, unplug them.
Damn, Devin Booker, leave me alone, man. But go ahead.
I was just saying, like the Heat. I feel like I trust Tatum more than I trust Jimmy Butler, even though Jimmy Butler's proved way more than Tatum did. And I don't trust Bam or Tyler Hero the way I trust Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart when he plays, and that's just my thing. That's why I'm taking this.
Basketball-wise, when I look at the game and I look at the styles of play, and I look at the talent, basketball-wise, it leans towards the Celtics. But on no planet Earth, no multiverse, nowhere in the Cosmodrome, okay, in mine, you'll find another variant of me rooting for the Celtics. So that's just what it is. That's just what it is, and I gotta die on that hill with that. So. Shifting gears now to the Western Conference. Memphis, man. Memphis and Golden State, exciting series. Unfortunate, John went down early with a bone bruise. We know all too well about bone bruises. They last for a whole season, Kendrick Nunn. So, all that happens. And,
who is that?
You probably won't see John Morant, according to Kendrick Nunn's doctor. You probably won't see John Morant for another year. So, sorry, Memphis fans. A bone bruise.
Who is that?
It's very severe as a torn Achilles. But anywho, Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very salty about Kendrick Nunn. I think he fleeced us. But anywho, exciting series. Steph kind of struggled a little bit in that series. I think he shot 38% from three, which is the lowest he's shot in his career in the playoffs thus far. So but we also saw the emergence of Jordan Poole. So Golden State handled their business as expected, and they go on to face the Dallas Mavericks in the conference finals. Thoughts on the series, and Golden State going forward?
Golden State, man, they making the finals, man. I'm sorry to say it. They're making the finals. And they it's gonna be Jordan Poole to win that Finals MVP. It's crazy, but
Steph fans are down bad.
But Golden State is just like the way, even though they lost by 50 in the game, which is an anomaly. It happened last year against the champions. The Nets beat the Bucks by 50 in one game. So stuff like that happens. But I feel like this team, they just have a lot of options at you. If Steph is not going, then okay, then it's Clay. If Clay is not going, then okay, Jordan Poole. If those three are not going, then somehow it might be Wiggins,
Yeah, he might show up.
Yeah. And it's just like they have multiple options.
Wiggins just be getting up and going on the court. He just get up. That's it.
And I have a confidence with this team. They have the most experience outside of the Celtics left in the playoffs. So
you could throw the Heat in there. I think the Heat has more experience than the Celtics right now, considering the Heat went to the finals in the most recent time.
That's true. So it's hard to not say the Warriors. Well, it wasn't hard saying they was going to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies not there, and that was on their mind from last year. They kicked them out the play-in. You already know what's going to happen after that. But coming into this series, it's hard to pick the Warriors again.
Thoughts, Eric? I'm
gonna just. You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah. So the thoughts on the Warriors Grizzlies series. Man, the Warriors, they really got lucky if you really think about it. Because go back to Game 6, it was tied at 97 with like 6 minutes to go in the game in the fourth quarter. If the Warriors don't make that run, we might have a Game 7 in Memphis. But I just felt like there are certain times in that series the Grizzlies showed their immaturity, especially in Game 4. When they had that chance, the Grizzlies had a chance to win that game late, and they were taking terrible shots. Jaron Jackson Jr.
Yeah, we did that pull up three. I was like, what?
And then Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks was just all over the place.
Yeah,
and then what the Warriors showed was their championship experience in that series, because just for them winning Game 4 and also winning Game 6. Like y'all kind of saw, even without Steve Kerr, that no matter what happens, they know that they can bank on the experience to win these playoff games. So now they got an interesting series coming up against the Mavericks, who are coming in red hot with Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson and that Mavericks team. It's going to be real interesting to see how these two teams play and how they adjust to each other. Like how does Luka and the Mavericks defend Steph Curry coming up with those curls, coming up with those screens, coming to the 3-point line? Him, Klay Thompson, how are they gonna defend that? How are the Warriors, are they gonna play zone against the Mavs? Are they gonna let Luka go off and let stay home to the others? Like it's gonna be a real intriguing series. I think we got another 7-game series. Warriors in 7, just because of the home court.
Listen, man, I'm telling y'all, Luka, get on the train now. Luka is here, and
That's what all the LeBron fans
what
are.
he's what yeah, that's a fact. That's where all of them are going. Like when LeBron is retired, it's gonna be insane because Luka's gonna have the international like stance too. Like that's gonna be something nasty. I listen. Good luck to them. But what Luka's gonna do to the Warriors is gonna be something filthy, y'all. Like yo, think about it. Like
I hope so.
I'm sure,
I hope so.
because look, here's the thing. Like what's gonna probably happen is they're gonna probably have Wiggins on him first. You're not gonna Steph clearly no, right? But Steph got to watch out too because the way Jalen Brunson was cooking CP3, he's a big guard. So like Steph is going to have some issues with that. The key for them is Draymond Green. Draymond Green's going to have to be able to score the ball because every time the Warriors are playing 4-on-5 on offense because Draymond refuses to shoot the ball. Now he does great in that role because he does such a good job setting others up to score. Like he's always like 2 passes ahead, when he's facilitating the offense. But I just think when Mavs play a lot of switch, it's Luka's gonna be hunting. Like, all right, yo, Jordan Poole, come in. All right, whose turn is it? Oh, okay, yeah, Kuminga, come in. Oh, Steph, yeah, come in. Draymond, come in. Like, he's gonna take turns. So, like, evidently, I'm gonna go with the best play in the series. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks, and a part of it is some bias, as you can clearly see as a Laker fan. You cannot root for the Warriors. But from a basketball standpoint, aside from the biases, like from a basketball standpoint, I legit think that Jason Kidd is gonna have that team ready. It's going to be about the others. If Spencer Dinwiddie can provide some spark, if Spencer Dinwiddie can simply just match Jordan Poole, Warriors are in trouble. The Warriors are in trouble. So,
I believe in Dinwiddie.
I know you miss him.
Trade him for nothing, by the way. Trade him for nothing.
Well, actually, you helped us facilitate the rush trade. Like y'all was in that whole mix, which is crazy. But yeah, I got Dallas in 7, man. I just think Dallas is going to, come out of this series. I think they're going to be better defensively. They're going to be more physical. They have more bodies. And I just think like every single night, you're going to need either Steph, Clay, or Poole to go off for them to win. Whereas if the Mavericks don't necessarily, they just need Luka to do his thing and everyone else has to contribute. So I don't know. It's going to be an intriguing series, but I got Dallas going to 7.
So just a heads up, PJ Tucker just went to the locker room limping.
It's a lot of injuries in this game.
He'll be all right.
He better be.
Yeah. But I mean, pretty much, you guys already said it. Considering like the star power of Golden State was just too much for Memphis, and I always spoke about Memphis being like that number 8 seed, like kind of reminiscent of the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2010. Like they didn't know their worth at that moment, So I was sitting there thinking, like, even though Dylan Brooks. He carried the Grizzlies in Game 7, but he also sold them as well too because he's not that guy. So like in my head, I'm like, do you trade him? But I'm like, he's still kind of young, like in this championship contender form. So what I would think is just wait till everybody's finished like growing up and realizing their potential, because we'll definitely see the Memphis Grizzlies back, right? And also with just Ja Morant, it was just kind of sucks that he went down with injury. Like as a basketball fan, like just the games were really entertaining when he played. And once he went down, you already knew that it was no doubt in anybody's mind that that Golden State was going to win the series, even though Memphis did cook the Grizzlies. I mean, excuse me, even though the Grizzlies cooked the Warriors by like 50 points, like it was still no doubt in anybody's mind that Golden State was running away with that series. But I'm with the Mavs train. Go Luka. Shout out to Slovenia. You know what I mean? Shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Shout out to Dwight Powell. Shout out to Reggie Bullock. Shout out to what's his kid? Tim Hardaway Jr. Even though he hurt. Shout out to Maxi Kleber.
Shout
But
out J Kidd. Shout out J Kidd.
shout out to J Kidd. Yo, shout out to J Kidd, man, because in that
He should have been the Lakers head coach.
yeah, man. Shout out to J Kidd, and we'll get right into it. This is like the perfect segue right into it. But I know we all seen that J Kidd clip on the side where he's like telling guys to stay home and switch. Man, like you would have thought he was on the court playing defense. But shout out to that Mav team. I got the Mavericks at 6. I do not want to see the Warriors win. Like I just
we can't experience that hurt again.
Man,
but that was just a miserable time. 5 straight trips to the finals. That was just terrible, bro.
Josh knows me so well. I could not stand the Warriors, bro. I could not stand them, bro. And
the thing is, the Warriors were so bad for so many years, and all of a sudden, all these stands came out of nowhere.
Bro.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, bro. So I'm praying for the Mavericks, man. Shout out to Luka.
Yeah, and since we're on the Mavericks, Armando, you have the floor, man. The Dallas Mavericks, as you know, beat the Phoenix Suns, the number 1 seed. Favored by a lot of people to actually win the championship this year. Lose in a blowout fashion by, evidently they lost by like 20, but it was like 15, 20 points. But that was just garbage shot maker. But those who saw the game, the Mavericks were up by 50 at one point. And for some context, Luka Doncic at the end of the first half had 27 points, and the Phoenix Suns as a team had 27 points. So
that's like some Kobe stuff right there, bro.
That's
Kobe.
When Kobe outscored the Mavericks in 3 quarters by himself.
Right,
yes,
by himself.
But the Suns somehow have Kobe Jr.
Like miss me with that. Like what? Yo, Stephen A. Smith talking about Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant. Like, stop. He's not. He's the next Devin Booker, and we're gonna leave it at that. Like,
I'm in Houston.
He's actually Kevin Martin with a good form. Anywho, but as we segue into the series,
shout out to Kevin Martin. Yo,
you have the floor.
Man, so going into the series, right? Like just being a basketball fan, like I didn't really have much faith in the Dallas Mavericks because like the way the Mavericks play, right, is just on some ISO ball. And I'm like, that's not gonna work against the Suns, man. If you ever watch the Suns defense, like they wall up, But Luka is just, man, he's just out of this world, man. Like Ernest said earlier, like I think we can't say Luka's here. Luka's already been here, but he just been on a bigger stage to showcase. But when you take into consideration the emergence of Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, he's been having a great playoff run. Like, man, after that first 2 games that Phoenix won, I'm just like, you know what? Phoenix got it. Like, it's over. But all right,
Nah, I told you, remember, after game 5, I was like, I said, watch. Luka's going to take it home. Yep.
I still couldn't believe it. But Dallas won that game 3, and then Dallas won game 4. Then it was the whole Mother's Day situation with Chris Paul. So then it's like after his birthday, like, bro, like he just lost all his powers, bro. Like he was not hitting the mid-range jump shot. Like
quad injury.
He was
the quad injury.
Man, he was
he was turning the ball over. Like he was a State Farm agent.
They call him Christopher now. They call him Christopher now. Like they don't call him Cliff. They don't call him Chris. They don't call him CP3. They call him Christopher. Christopher. What is that? Emmanuel Paul. That's what they call Chris Paul now. But anyway, man, like just that game 7 surprised me because like
in game 7.
Man, I really wasn't paying attention to it because I was still working, but I had the game on. But I'm just like the Mavericks came out on firing on all cylinders. Like the Phoenix Suns did not get up to play. Like they showed no effort. It was just funny when the camera was panning to like the different faces on the bench. You got Devin Booker looking salty. You got Cameron Payne looking salty. You got Jay Crowder looking salty. You got Monty Williams, the coach of the year, all looking salty. But that's what they get because that's what happens when you talk smack, when you don't prove nothing. You was up 2-0 in the finals, and you let the Bucks come back in Game 6 and win. Y'all didn't prove
They
nothing.
won 4 straight, bro. Like,
They won
think
4
about like
straight.
people don't understand.
They
Like,
got reverse
yeah,
swept.
they won the first 2 games, and then they got swept after that. Like,
They got
like how
swept.
fraudulent you gotta be, son. Like,
They
literally,
got
how fraudulent you gotta be.
they got swept. You proved
And
nothing.
listen, last year I told everyone this, and everyone was like, I was a hater. I said, "Yo, Lakers were up 2-1 when AD went down. The Lakers were going to win that series. Everyone knew that. You could see that." The
I'm
next
glad.
series they played Denver. Denver only had Jokic. Then after that they played the Clippers. There was no Kawhi and there was no Paul George. There was Paul George for like the first 2 games, and he got hurt or whatever. So like. We got to stop this giving the Suns all these flowers like they're this dominant team.
I'm glad you brought that up because even though you mentioned that, like that was still up in the air. People was like, "Oh, AD just mad because the Lakers suck, the Lakers stink, the Lakers this and that and the third, right?" But now everybody's like, I go on Twitter, "Oh, AD was right. AD was right. AD was right."
Yo, it's crazy.
Like, bro, what? Like, where was that energy at? Like, that's the real facts of it all. Like, these boys got reverse swept. They started this season. They was undefeated. Them and the Warriors was neck and neck. And then they just got carried away. They thought they was too good for their own good. You know, you got Cameron Payne talking trash. Jay Crowder talking trash. D-Book thinking
Remember,
hot.
Anthony Edwards was like during the season, they was like, "Yo, y'all not gonna make the playoffs, and y'all better make the like." They was talking.
Yeah.
Even like me talking to people and stuff like that. Everyone said, "Yo, the Suns were cocky. Like they were walking around like they won something." It's disgusting.
After I forget what game it was, but they showed them like working out and stuff like that, like flexing their muscles. Like you know, we see that little clip of the huddle that JaVale McGee was leading when it was barking like dogs. Like y'all look like puppies right now. Y'all look crazy right now. But that's what y'all get when y'all talk smack, man. Y'all barked up the wrong tree. Now y'all get all the energy that's coming to you. Chris Paul look crazy right now because they was hunting him. I get it. You 36 years old. But Luka, they said it. They was 37. He's 37, and he was getting hunted. He's a prime perimeter defender, but he was getting hunted. The best player on the team getting hunted, looking crazy, man. The only dude I respect on that team is Mikal Bridges. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. But the rest of you Phoenix Suns, y'all food. Jay Crowder, you're food. Cameron Payne, you're food. Chris Paul, you're food. And Devin Booker, you are food. Monty Williams, I hate it. I hate it had to be you, bro. Chris Paul, man. What somebody said? Somebody said that Chris Paul deserves a ring. And Pat Bev said, why? Why does he deserve a ring? Why? Yo, as much I can't stand Pat Bev, bro, just seeing him on First Take the next following day, boy, brought me so much joy, bro. Because it's like finally somebody said it. Chris Paul, you know,
KD tweeted today like, "Yo, he running around like he popped."
Bro, like straight up, man. Like, you know, and I'm gonna go back to Cameron Payne, man, because he had the audacity. To hop into a Lakers space. He invaded a Lakers space and said some nonsense like
I was in that space, yeah.
Yeah, why we talking about why we talking about the Lakers? They're the worst team. All right, fine, cool, whatever, right? But we should be talking about one of the best teams in the league, in the world. Like, bro, Cameron Payne, you wasn't relevant, bro. You was Russ backup dancer. You was in China, and now pretty much what Braun said. You want to pop off? You want to pop off now, bro? Well, pop off in Cancun, bro. Pack them up. I'm gonna just say this one last thing, and then you guys can go. Yo, I don't be hitting that pack like that, yo. But that Suns pack was hitting. That Suns pack was hitting.
Blazing. Yeah.
That pack was hitting, man, and right in front of Lil Wayne. Luka, he got his revenge right in front of Lil Wayne too. Even Mark Cuban had to get with the antics too, man. That's crazy. Suns is down bad. They had the audacity to release a apology, but they didn't apologize for nothing.
Yeah, that's how you know you're a poverty franchise, when you got to apologize.
Yeah, apologize in the second round. Get them out of here. Get them out of here, man. Get them out of here, man. Carry on.
I'm not gonna hold you like just piggyback off of Armani's rant right now. I want to shout out the Mavs players first. Shout out Luka. that you gained some legacy points, Luka, because
Yeah.
you was talking your shit, you was backing it up,
Facts.
you know, and Dinwiddie, shout out Brunson, and shout out Maxi Kleber. That man was shooting the lights out for the first 2 rounds of this postseason, and I feel like he's a really like X factor for them, low key,
Yeah.
and how they play him and Dorian Finney-Smith. But now I want to turn my attention to the point guard. I don't know why they call him the point guard, but this man, like I said, I already talked about this with Embiid. This man gets injured all the time
Christopher.
when you need him most. Every single time. He pulls a hammy. He breaks a finger.
They was hyping that man up when he went 14 for 14 in a against the Pelicans, man.
Like, come on, you can't do that to my team, bro.
And keep it 100. Keep it 100. If CJ McCollum showed up like he was supposed to,
yes,
I think the Pelicans win that series. Not even that. If Zion was playing, you got a guy who averaged 20. Zion would have killed them because of the small ball.
We winning in 6.
You know, I don't know if it's 6, but y'all winning that series, I think. You know,
but
there's a reason why Patrick Beverley said the Timberwolves wanted them. There's a reason for it. Like, as much as crazy, you know, as he may be, there is some truth, behind that. Phoenix is soft.
Here's the thing about that, though. I know Pat Bev going to try to punk him, but Kitten not punking nobody. I'm going to just put that out there.
You calling him
I know.
You calling him Kitten, bro?
Kitten, he's not punking nobody. I'm sorry.
Cat do be out of character, but yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to just put that out there. I get it.
Shout out, Cat, man.
Shout out to Pat Bev. Shout out to Pat Bev, man. Future Laker. Shout out to Pat Bev.
Whoa.
Shout out to Pat Bev. Shout out to Pat Bev.
But I really have a problem with how Phoenix game plan. Especially when Devin Booker is out, you see them utilize Ayton more. He's the number 1 pick for a reason. He has the talent to take over a game and be a dominant player. You have to use him. him. I feel like they didn't use him.
They didn't get him.
I'm hearing Portland. Might end up in Portland.
I'm gonna say San Antonio.
Hopefully,
Charlotte. He has a date. I hope Charlotte too. Honestly, he would have fit. Oh my God, with LaMelo. But I think San Antonio, because he has a David Robinson build. His game kind of mirrors David Robinson. And then 2, he would be the focal point. Him and DeJounte Murray, it'll be their team.
Yeah.
And he'll get the minutes and the stardom and everything he wants. I just think, when you're playing with Devin Booker and Chris Paul, you got to share that, And here's the thing: like Phoenix has a lot to think about, because you're gonna have Ayton who wants a max. If Devin Booker is elected on the All NBA team, he can now receive a $4,211,000 extension. You got Chris Paul that still got 3 years left on his deal,
and I think they just extended Bridges too.
Right. So they're gonna be hitting the luxury tax, and I don't know if they want to pay all that for getting out the second round.
Hey man, as a team that I know that didn't exercise the luxury tax more in the Nets, Phoenix do it. Because look where we at. We giving away plays for free. We could have brought back Smith Dinwiddie, but like I said, that's a conversation for later on. Phoenix is going to be an interesting offseason, because Phoenix, the way they went out was so embarrassing. You got to think that they're gonna try to change some stuff up. I don't know how they're gonna move now with Chris Paul. Chris Paul's getting older. You said he's 37. Gonna be 38.
He just turned 37.
So it's like you really have to start thinking what's your future plans before it's too late, because one injury with this guy getting injured a lot could change that for you.
If they're smart, you try to do a sign and trade. If Ayton doesn't want to return, you try to do a sign and trade to get you back a serviceable center. You re-sign JaVale McGee, you get a serviceable center, and then you get a point guard that can play starter minutes.
and it's sad. But I'm not sad for Chris Paul because I hear people big up Chris Paul all the time. Chris Paul's better than Steph. Chris Paul's better than this guy. I'm like, oh, he hasn't done that.
Is Chris Paul better than Westbrook? The numbers. Listen, if you look at the numbers,
numbers wise,
Westbrook got him by the numbers.
Look at that. Westbrook is
See, it's the style of play. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. To me,
exactly.
Like the reason why Chris Paul is tolerable because his game it's like it's the same dichotomy with Giannis and KD. Mm-hmm. Giannis is clearly the best player, but people tend to see exactly. People tend to shove that away because Kevin Durant is a 7-foot guy that can put up from 30 and put up 50 at will.
I can't say that when this guy's on my team, so I can't.
Well, I get you. I understand that. But Giannis is the best player because KD can't do what Giannis does on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same dynamic with Russ and CP3 to me. Almost like people like the more finesse game than the actual guy who's playing hard and doesn't have the best jump shot, but can get to the rim at will and get others involved.
Just low IQ. That's the only thing that's wrong with us. That's the only thing that's wrong with Russ, to be honest. Because he is probably the perfect basketball player that you would want on your team.
Yeah.
It's just, come on, man. Be smarter.
Would you trade?
No,
would you trade CP3
I know where you're going.
For Russ?
No.
So if you're the Lakers,
I mean, if I'm the Lakers, yeah. But if I'm the Suns,
trade CP3 for no, you don't think the Suns need a point guard that puts up 1977?
No.
Hey, listen, that's durable. Russ is ready every night.
I can see
you ain't got to worry about injuries.
I can see him and Devin Booker playing in the locker room. It's just I don't know if that's gonna work out. But
I got you right now. Hold on. I got you.
That.
I got you right now.
Look at the big three.
That is nasty.
I got you right now.
That smells like 48 wins to me.
Eric, but let's get Eric in here and get his thoughts on the Phoenix Suns debacle and how does that Elfrid Payton pack sound like to you now?
Elfrid Payton's on that team?
Yeah,
bro.
Yo, I was like,
the Knicks waved him. The Suns was like, yeah, get him.
I thought he was overseas. Yo,
he on that roster.
That's what Cameron Payne need to be.
Oof, man, what an ugly ending to the series for the Suns. Not for Game 7, but Game 6, there was a no-show. So I've seen his stat about Chris Paul in the last 5 games of that series. He had more turnovers than field goals made.
Yes, so and he also had the same amount of points as turnovers. He had 18 turnovers to 18 points.
Oof,
that's nasty.
Oh, also, there were a little bit of rumblings during Game 7. DeAndre Ayton and Coach Monty Williams were added.
Yeah, because he out of there, bro.
They're saying that Monty was saying something like DeAndre fouled out and then told him that you quit on us, this and that, something like that, and DeAndre they were actually that could be separated. So, and plus they didn't give him the max to start the season, so there you have it. I think they need. The Suns now they got questions. They really got questions. How long CP3 or CP0, as someone will actually say,
Christopher
will actually stay with the Suns. I think he stays for a couple more years and play out his contract. I just think they need more firepower off the bench. I don't know what they're gonna do with DeAndre.
I mean, wow, they got Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne's their guy.
Hey, it's Payton.
Jay Crowder's a knockdown shooter.
I mean, hey, they can.
They're gonna have to start making room though, because Cam Johnson is not going to be. Cam Johnson's not going to come off the bench anytime. Like Cam Johnson will start on another team. They're gonna start have to making moves really soon.
Mhm.
No, he's not going to the Nets. Y'all don't even have cap space to do a trade. So get out of here.
We got picks.
Yeah, where? What picks?
From the Sixers.
Where?
From the Sixers.
Where?
Yeah, they
We
got
got
the first
two.
round joint. They got
We
the
got
first round
two
joint.
from the Sixers. Thank you, James Harden.
And you gave it all away to Houston. So
No.
all right. But yeah, definitely crazy stuff. But segue, since we're on the Nets, we got to talk about the Nets a little bit, since we have a guest here who is a depressed Net fan. We want to know why he's depressed. We want to know why. Explain what happened and how are your feelings, because clearly, the pulse of New York don't rock with the Nets. It's always been a Knick town. It's kind of staying like that right now. It's a lot. It's dark days in Brooklyn. Kyrie, is he coming back? Is he not?
Coming back.
Is he the
I heard Ben
GM?
Simmons-
I'm confused.
I heard Ben Simmons gonna be trade bait for the Hawks.
What's going on, man? Did you put away the brooms? I know they're away in the closet, nice and neat. House is clean.
Okay. I'm gonna just address this now. I know we got swept, but we didn't go out sorry like the Suns. So every game was close. Every game was like at least 6 points.
Game 4 was close?
Yeah, it was close. We lost by 6, 7. I'm not.
I get it. I get it. That 3-pointer that KD made when it didn't matter, I get it. I'm
gonna just say this. Amani knows I've been indifferent about the Nets this season. I wasn't confident. I wasn't over here beating my chest because I saw
sure?
this. No, I'm sure. I saw.
I'm Ronnie. Can you fact check that?
I can. I definitely can.
Okay.
I definitely can.
Nets fans I know.
He was even criticizing his own star players, man. He was criticizing KD, Harden. He's like, when's Kyrie coming back? He was criticizing him, man.
Yeah.
The only net he was really high on was Cam. That was the only one. That was the only one.
He wasn't getting minutes in the playoffs.
But it felt like a rebuilding year to me. Like, oh my God, let me just see Cam play. That's what I tuned into the Nets game for. But
yo, that is disgusting. You have Kevin Durant,
but
Kyrie Irving.
But you had to remember, KD was out for a long time, so it was a
street clothes. Yeah, street clothes. KD. Yeah,
but KD has some freak injuries. Like people be going into his knee all the time. Like it's not like he just ran.
I wonder.
I know LeBron do that too. It's LeBron too.
No. We're talking about the other guy. This guy. Yeah, we're talking about this guy right here.
Oh,
the one that everyone claims that he's injury prone. I mean, Kevin Durant had an MCL sprain last year. No one said anything. Oh, it's unfortunate. They fell on his leg. But when the same thing happened to Anthony Davis this year against Timberwolves. Oh my God, he can't even like take a shower.
Anthony,
like
Anthony Davis,
that's crazy.
It's just with Anthony Davis. It's just a lot of every time he play, he come up limping. Like that's the only thing with him.
But that's crazy.
But
back to the Nets, Pat.
Even when the Nets was looking good, we had like the first seed for most of the first half of the season. I want to say, and James Harden just seemed off to me. I was like, yo, what's happening with this guy? Like some games he'll come to play, and it's against the bad teams he was coming to play. Against the good teams, it was just KD out there by himself. And Patty Mills is like, what's going on? Like James Harden, like we brought you here for a reason. I know Kyrie's not here, but come on, like what are you doing? So that's when I started to see a little crack in the foundation. It was with James Harden. He looked disinterested. He looked fat. He looked, everything. Like it was just, it was sad to see. But we was the first seed, so I was just like, I guess I'm gonna just take this. And then KD went down, and we went through that hell of 12 games. We lost 12 games in a row.
Yeah.
They said we was.
You're welcome. We gave you guys one of those. You're welcome.
But they said we was the first team to lose 11 or 12 in a row and still be over 500. I don't know how that is possible. I never seen that in my life, but I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy.
It's crazy. East was good this year.
But I do believe in basketball gods. Stuff didn't happen right. Kyrie didn't sacrifice for the team. So, it's only right that we go out like this, go out bad, go out with a stain in your mouth so you know how it feels. Pause.
Can't cheat the process.
Pause.
You can't cheat the process.
You got to treat the regular season properly. You cannot treat the regular season how the Nets treated it this last season. And they just made a mockery of it. Like I said, the Ben Simmons thing was another thing that it was kind of weird to me. I don't know if they was communicating properly, but obviously I think
I was doing it foul.
Yeah, that's what
because
I feel he was forcing him to play.
Yeah, like the public pressure, like yo, because it's like, and I said this on the pod before, like yo, if I find it real funny that like they like yo, he gonna play game 6, he gonna play game 7, he gonna play game 3, game 4, and I'm like, wait, the man ain't touch a rock the whole year, and then to make matters worse, y'all were so bad defensively, y'all was gonna literally throw him in and say, yo, guard Jason Tatum.
Like, yeah.
Like, listen, what y'all doing, bro?
I guess they was trying to like give him confidence, but they did it in the wrong way. And I hope they see it like that. Because I think Ben Simmons really has a mental. I thought he was lying like everybody else, but I think he really has a mental thing, or mental block. Because if he really, I feel like he's really scared. When he woke up and was like, "Damn, I'm about to play tomorrow." I can't do it. So it's like I feel like he really has that mental block, and he has to go through that. He got to see a therapist, something like, and you know, and then he got a surgery too. You can't fake a surgery. I don't care what anybody tells you.
That's what I was telling. Like they're like, oh, he faking the back stuff, and when he went and had the surgery, I'm like, ain't no way you faking the back injury.
Because you got to report that to the league.
Yeah, you got to report that to the league, and on top of that, like you're not going to go under the knife to put up a facade. Back injury, if someone's doing surgery on your back, you ain't never going to be the same. Like, so, like, he really had a serious problem. You know what I'm saying? So he had a legit injury, and people had to respect that. And then, quite frankly, people owe him an apology, you know, because they was really, like, they was really backing up Ben Simmons, yo.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, you know. And that's why I want to apologize a little bit. I said some crazy stuff about him. You know? So I apologize, Ben. You know, hope you are right. I don't know if you're gonna be in the Nets jersey next year, but I hope you're okay and you could do the thing you love to do. But
hey, I heard the Hawks want him, so we're
not doing that trade. I saw that. That was nasty. I don't want DeAndre Hunter and John Collins on board.
That's a nasty fit.
I'd rather trade him to the Pistons. Give me Jeremy Grant and like Corey Joseph and probably like Sadiq Bey or something. Like, no, man. Huh? No. But
Nelson KD.
Hey, Kyrie, that's funny. That's funny.
I feel like this is just karma on how we handle the season. And when you look at it, our home games, we barely saw our stars playing home games.
Yeah.
Like, we had a horrible home record. We was actually good on the road, surprisingly. But we had a horrible home record. It's just a lot of bad stuff that just happened. Basketball gods is real, man. That's what I would say after this season.
I got a question. You giving Kyrie the max?
Yeah, we have to. We have no choice.
What's that? 5 years, 210, I believe.
Take it.
No. 5 years, 230.
5 years, 250.
Yeah, I'm giving him that. Stipulations are in it though.
Yeah, because 230 is James Harden, 250 is Kyrie. Yeah.
Stipulations is gonna be in it though. You got to play some type of games, and it's gonna be in it. But we have to. There's no better choice out there for us. Even if we trade Kyrie, who we trading Kyrie for?
Man's getting circumstances to this.
Like, and that's KD boy. If we don't want to sign back Kyrie, what's good? KD's out of here.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I'm back in the basement. Nah. Sign back Kyrie. We're good. Listen, the whole Kyrie thing, I get it. He's, people feel some type of way about him. I understand that. But at the same time, this is a once in a century thing that happened that stopped him from playing basketball. We got to understand that. A pandemic happened as soon as stars came to Brooklyn.
I've never been the guy to criticize Kyrie for what he's done. obviously the consequence he had to face.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand like the venom he was getting. Like, I get it from a standpoint, like, okay, like in terms of the New York City workers who had to take the vaccine and those who didn't was going to lose their jobs. And Kyrie like outing himself as a martyr for that. That's kind of like,
he
you
didn't
know,
even say that.
insensitive. Yeah, that's insensitive because like
he didn't even say that.
But no. What I'm saying is though, he called himself a martyr though. He did.
He was being sarcastic.
Yeah,
on
but
that interview.
But at the end of the day, though, even though he's being sarcastic, a person that worked for the MTA that lost their job don't find that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But this is what I tell people.
Sarcastic.
This is what I tell you. This is what I tell people. This is the America we know. They care about rich people more than poor people. It happened.
And I'm not refuting that, but I'm just saying it was just insensitive of him to kind of take on this like this heroic figure for like taking a stand, and then like you're still getting paid regardless, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these people aren't. So like, don't align yourself with that. Yeah. Do what you do, but you don't have to. But disassociate yourself from that cause. Like, you don't have to be like front and center, like I'm the man and I take a stand for this, and you know I'm at the game clapping, everybody cheering me like I'm a hero. No, like, all right, cool, like whatever. But like, you also have to take into account what those people who lost their jobs, who were in the same sentiment as you, feel like. So for me, listen, Kyrie, do what you do, man. I don't care if you don't want to play today, or tomorrow, whatever. Get your money, right? You're not on the Lakers, so that don't concern us. But at the end of the day, like, he's his own man. People got to be able to. He stood on what he stood on, and that's just that. And he dealt with the consequences as a man. You got to respect it. So,
yeah. And the other person I just want to critique is KD, man. KD, you're great. You're a great player. But we got to really talk about your decision making. I don't.
Everybody can't be wrong. Everybody can't be wrong.
Yeah, you know, people be saying the GM, but Kevin the GM is horrible. Like, you can pick Steve Nash as a first horrible mistake that you did. You gotta talk to Kyrie. That's your boy. If that's your boy, talk to him like, yo, bro, like, you leave me out there, man. Yeah. Like, you see Harden want to leave, you go leave me out here, man. Like, come on. Like, you gotta talk and tell the GM, tell Sean Marks, get you some wings. That's another problem why we lost. We have a whole bunch of 6'3", 6'2", 6'1" guards next to KD running around. That's not gonna work. You're not the Warriors. You're not Steph. You're not, like, come on.
Shout out to Bruce Brown. Bruce
Brown. He had a great series after the first game. Great series after the first game. But we need Bruce Brown can't be your second wing, and he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Give me some dudes that are 6'6" and up that can play defense and make a jump shot, and at least try to hustle for rebounds. And it's a lot. There's a lot going on, guys. Joe Harris, my son, I haven't seen him since November from an ankle injury. It was just that type of season, and we just deserved it.
Man, I forgot he was still on the roster, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
we deserve. And one thing about the Knicks running New York, I'm not one of them fans. I don't care about running the city. I want a chip. Y'all can have the city. Y'all been having the city for this long, and y'all haven't won since 70 something. I don't care about that. So I'm good. When champions comes, then the fans will come. That's what I say. That's my motto.
One playoff series who got there.
But what about since 2012? Since we got to Brooklyn,
y'all won only 2 playoff series since y'all got to Brooklyn. All right, they ain't even better than the Knicks. So
that's fine. At least we make it.
So since we're on the Knicks, as you know, the draft lottery was tonight. Before we end the show, we want to cover this. Orlando Magic, another poverty franchise, has gotten the number one draft pick. Followed by the Oklahoma City Thunder with the number 2 pick.
Ain't nobody want to go there, man.
Number 3 pick goes to the Houston Rockets. The number 4 pick, I believe, went to the, if I'm not mistaken, oh my gosh,
hold on,
Sacramento.
What's Sacramento?
Sacramento, and then
Sacramento.
and the 5th pick went to Detroit. Oh, and the Heat are coming
Yeah,
back. Thank God.
they're up one.
They got a 1-point lead.
The Knicks, I mean, the Lakers and the Nets, we can't talk about any draft picks because we don't have any this year. Our pick went to the New Orleans Pelicans, and they fell to 8th. And they can have that with the sorry Pelicans fans.
They're trolling us on Twitter right now, bro.
I know they are.
Their page,
I know. They're trolling for what? A draft pick? While the Lakers got a championship out that trade.
So
one of the worst drafts
but
in recent years too.
They just showed a clip of our like it was one of the last games, the final games of the season when we played the Pelicans. They showed Jose Alvarado stealing the ball, and like instead of the ball, it was like the number 8 pick. So they showed him taking that and running down the court and laying it up. So I'm just like,
here's a stat: the Pelicans have 22 playoff wins. Anthony Davis has 18. Do what you will with that. Anywho, the Knicks now, get the 11th pick in the draft. There's a lot of rumblings about what the Knicks have to do this offseason because clearly Kemba Walker is not the guy. Evan Fournier is not the guy. Alec Burke is not the guy. Julius Randle all of a sudden is not the guy.
He reverted back to being not that guy.
The Knicks are you guys are teetering on like the shamble train. Like it's like, are you in shambles or what's going on? Where's the direction? So with the 11th pick, are you guys give us some insight, Eric? Are you guys, what do you think? Do you think the Knicks keep that pick and draft a top 15 player, or do they package that to get better? Whether it's packaging that pick with Julius Randle or packaging that with, some of the log jams that you guys got, with the veteran guys, because clearly the Knicks want to play the young guys. So you got to make room somehow.
I believe they're going to trade the pick. I think they use that along with the other wings that they have for consolidation for a solid role player. Nah,
Donovan Mitchell.
So much.
The 11th pick for Don?
Nah.
Take the 11th pick in Julius Randle.
That's not going to be enough.
And Emmanuel Quickley for Donovan Mitchell.
That's a lot. That's too rich for me.
That's perfect.
Danny Ainge was going to want more.
For Donovan Mitchell?
No way.
Danny Ainge. You talking about Danny Ainge, who fleeced the Nets and fleeced all the other teams for those picks. He's in Utah right now. And for to get Donovan Mitchell, they don't want to farm. So you're talking about getting this year's pick, next year's pick with the Mavericks, and 2 more picks.
Yeah, that Mavericks pick not gonna be nothing. Luka's gonna be in the finals, bro. So that Mavericks pick, you give that up. You're not gonna get any value with that. I'm just saying, you take the 11th pick, you take next year's pick, and then you do a pick swap for the following year, and then you give him Quickly, Randall, and say, give me Donovan Mitchell. Have a nice day. You resign Mitch Robinson, you know what I'm saying? And you go out and, you
do
get
that?
depth. I would do it in a heartbeat.
I feel like Donovan Mitchell doesn't help the Knicks more than it. Like I feel like the Knicks need a point guard.
He gets into the playoffs.
Yeah, but is that going to be the ceiling for the team, or are you looking for?
I mean, but your ceiling championship. The Knicks ceiling, you're not going to win the championship for one.
Obviously,
but the ceiling, the ceiling is getting RJ Barrett to be the guy. So you need someone to help him along the way. I think Donovan Mitchell is the perfect mate for that.
I think
because y'all want Zion. It's clear. Yeah. Signed Cam Reddish. I did the trade for Cam Reddish. You got RJ Barrett.
I think that's changed. I think that's changed because
my team is good. The Pelicans are good.
I think they changed that, and it's like, thank you, Zion. If the Pelicans offer Zion that the rookie max, he's taking it. He's taking it.
But here's the thing: Brandon Ingram is the guy. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like Brandon Ingram.
Yo, Josh, chill, man. Get out of here, Josh. Get out of here, man.
And
get out of here, man.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum is obviously is the star vet on that team. Is there room for Zion? Because Herb Jones is good, man.
Mhm.
Trey Murphy is good. Like they
This is
got
gonna
some
get
good
better.
pieces.
They're just gonna get better.
So is it to where that the Pelicans need another star, or do they need pieces and depth to help them along the way? You know what I mean? To be a more solid, more rounded team. There's something to be said about that. So I'm just saying, Zion may be out there if, let's just say, next season they try to make it work and it doesn't work, and there's some rift between Zion and Brandon because Ingram's like, "Yo, I've been here, man. Like I took the team to the playoffs. Like that was all on me." There's something to be said about that. So I'm just saying, I don't think it's out the realm. I think it's still on watch.
I think low key. I don't know if you go like this. Because I bashed him, and this is a Nick thing, but he's good. Trade that 11 pick for Chris Paul if he available, man.
I would do that too if I'm the Knicks.
Yeah, y'all need a point guard because that's the only thing I see
Eric,
is
thoughts?
wrong.
Eric, thoughts? You got
with
thoughts? What's
the
your
Knicks.
thoughts?
That's the only thing because y'all have good pieces. Y'all just don't have that point guard to get everybody involved.
I would have rather had him a couple of years ago when he got traded to the Thunder.
Yeah,
that would have been the perfect time to get him instead of now. He has to have 3 more years left on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, he can mold quickly. But you also, the thing is, you got to think about, like, I understand the contract situation, but you also got to think about the Knicks ain't going nowhere next year and the year after.
He'll build y'all up. I feel like
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, you also got to consider, like, all right, how can I be in contention and be competitive, but also bring the young guys along? Because if you think that you're gonna start Jericho Sims and RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly and Cam Reddish and think y'all gonna go to the promised land, you're wild. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
There's no young point guards that's available either, so it's like it's hard. And there's nobody in the draft that I see.
Jalen Brunson for the Mavericks, but he's gonna cost at least $20 million to start.
Yeah, he's gonna want the bag.
I'd rather have Aiden CP3 than Jalen Brunson.
Something to think about.
I don't know, man.
But
I'm kind of out on the Chris Paul deal.
So you're before we end it. So you're on the Knicks need to trade the pick.
Yeah, I'm more. They should trade the pick. Trade the pick and see what else they can go. Or they can trade down during draft night, because I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they have a chance to trade up unless they attach. And you're not getting that type of. You're not going to get at least be in that 6, 7, or 8 with the 11th, and you're going to need more pieces to pony up. So I think they trade down or they trade the pick for. Here's the thing, though. We don't even know what the hell Leon Rose, World Wide West, their plans are anyway. So it was like we just got to sit and wait and find out. So we'll see. It's
gonna be a hell of an all season.
Oof.
Yep, it is. It certainly is. A lot of things are gonna happen. Obviously, the Nets are gonna make moves. The Lakers certainly need to get a coach first, then make some moves. But listen, I am on the record. If Russ comes back, he'll be better than what he was this year. I just think the coaching staff, and we'll have a better coaching staff and a coach that may know how to utilize him and LeBron and AD in a certain way, and hopefully the roster construction is better. But if I had my choice, I would trade Russ for depth. But needless to say, the Nets got things that they got to think about, so will the Knicks. And it's going to be very interesting all season. And Josh, thank you for coming on and being a guest.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir.
fun. You know, definitely some rounds going to have you on again for sure.
And the Heat are up
Especially,
at 8.
you know, when
Heat are
I
up
know,
by
which
8,
is
just like that.
so beautiful. Shout out to Jimmy Butler, the best player, you know what I mean, in the Eastern Conference, you know. Shout out to the Heat culture. Shout out to Pat Riley. You know
Shout out
what
to
I'm
Victor
saying?
Oladipo.
Before
Shout
we
out to
go, I got a question. We're gonna have some conversations about Jimmy Butler if he makes it to the finals. 2 years out of 3, well, 2 times out of 3. It's gonna be a weird conversation because I don't know where to put
it is. Yeah, yeah. I don't know where he belongs, but he making his way somewhere in that list, especially if he gets to the finals this year. If he beats this Boston team, and
Top
if they
10?
win it,
Top 10 player.
Like right now or all
Right
time?
now.
Talking?
What, in the league?
Oh yeah, top 10.
Definitely. Definitely. And he's doing this from the mid-range game too. Like that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell KD
we'll
I
see.
said he better than him. Hope he come back 5 plays next season. This is great.
But before we end it, we need to see a Kevin Durant, LeBron James finals before it's all said and done. We do.
We haven't seen them play since 2018.
Exactly. They haven't played each other like head to head yet since 2018. So yeah, which is wild. Injuries are crazy, man. But yeah, Josh, again, thank you, man. Appreciate you for being on, being a guest, and bringing some laughs and stuff like that. And hopefully, you won't be a depressed Nets fan next year. And until then,
keep it that way.
Don't worry, I got backup plans. You see, Pelicans, you know.
that is disgusting.
It's all good. Listen, I learned from LeBron fans, you always have a backup plan. So that's how they always happy.
Crazy.
That's how they always happy.
That's crazy. Anywho, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Interact with us on Instagram and Twitter. And again, until next time, to next episode. Peace and love, everyone.
Peace.